Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading. This is Bright Soul Collective Tarot. My name is Laura, and these will be your intuitive insights and advice for the month of May 2022. So, Gemini, I hope you're all doing well, and I will wish you a happy early birthday, those of you who have May birthdays, because we are coming into Gemini season. I believe it starts on the 20th of May. Yeah, so I'm excited to take a look and see what this month is going to have in store for you all. As always, before we get started, do keep in mind these readings are general in nature, so not all the information that comes through will pertain to you. Definitely take anything and everything that does resonate, however it makes sense to your specific situation. Keep an open mind to anything that might be helpful as you move through the month, and simply leave the rest. So this reading will be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And just a little disclaimer before we get started. I've tweaked my format a little bit this month, just with the intention of trying to make the videos a little bit shorter than usual. So I'm drawing less cards. April has been like an incredibly busy and hectic month. It's been a little bit stressful. My energy was pretty off most of the month, and I'm feeling better now, but I was at a point that I was considering not doing readings this month for May. So I decided to go ahead and do it because I really do enjoy it, but I figured maybe tweaking the format, taking a little bit of time off the top might help make it more manageable for me to get all 12 videos prepared and posted. So funnily enough, they're still very long. Like, I've been trying my hardest to condense it, and even with less cards, there's still a lot coming through. So, but less length at least total. So I've got one oracle card here for you. We'll pull some tarot. I'll get you a couple of affirmations, and we'll finish with a second oracle card, which instead of openly interpreting, I'll just read directly from the book, and we will use that to get a little bit more clarity and insight to help tie the reading together. And as usual, I will start with your channeled messages. So technically channeling is what I do when I'm reading the cards anyways, but I like to take some time to connect with your energy before I get any of the oracle cards out and see what kind of information I can channel and comes through without visual cues, just for fun. So I've limited those to 5 this month for the sake of brevity. So it's kind of like top 5, if you will. So we'll get started with that. But as I was connecting to your energy, Gemini, it was very interesting. So yet again, this month, each of the signs has had a very different kind of vibe to them. The sense that I got overall, like for you guys, it was almost like an energy of renewal. So like a new approach to an old thing, or like newfound motivation or enthusiasm, or like a new perspective. But I kind of got the impression like it might even be very much specific to like your overall health, happiness, well-being, like however that makes sense to you. There are different things that we all value. Like some people it's diet and exercise, like some people it's travel and social opportunities, some people it's like, self-care and mindfulness. So however that makes sense to you, I did get a sense of being motivated to improve like health, maybe improve your exercise, diet, your fitness, your mental health, your self-care, and basically like it was kind of like an excitement about like investing more in yourself and your happiness and your well-being, and what you know to be good for you. So it's very much connected to like self-worth, recognizing that you're worth that time, feeling like a renewal in terms of your approach to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you think about yourself. And like being motivated to it. So it could be something because there's something like exciting that you're looking forward to. It may be celebrating your birthday. It may be a specific event. It might be like a specific person in your life that has you, feeling hopeful and excited again, and like kind of like renewed optimism or like renewed focus on you doing you. So I thought that was really nice. And I really like that for you, honestly, coming into your season. I think that's like really good energy. The other thing that came through was a little bit of a headache, but it was like the caffeine. Caffeine kept popping up in my head. So this is not part of your channeled messages, but caffeine kept coming to mind. So if part of your like focus on health is around caffeine, like for example, if you are already trying to limit caffeine or decrease caffeine, like it might be like having headaches as a result of that. I would say, like, if you've been somebody who ingests a lot of caffeine and you're trying to go cold turkey, it might be beneficial for you. I don't want to like push caffeine on you by any means, but it might be beneficial for you to do it a little bit more gradually. Or it's like if you've been like really into coffee, like maybe switching to green tea and just limiting like half a cup a day or something, like, like, if you're like maybe wean yourself off of it a little bit, and that will help you, especially if you are experiencing headaches, and that'll prevent you from having to take any kind of like medications for that, like painkillers. So yeah, that might be something to keep in mind. Or if your caffeine consumption is really high in general, and that's not necessarily something that you've been working on, it might be worth keeping in mind that you might want to decrease a little bit. It could be causing headaches, also like anxiety for you. So maybe trying to decrease, or maybe like setting an X number of cups of coffee, or, including some decaf into the mix. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. That's what I will say. All right. So for your channeled messages, Gemini, your first message that came through was overbearing presence. It felt a little ominous. It could be any number of things. So I would just say to you, like, whatever comes to mind when you think of like an overbearing presence in your life, that's probably an area that might be highlighted this month. It might need a little bit of attention. You might need to bring your awareness to it in terms of what is connected to that, what kind of place that has in your life, what kind of feelings you have around it. It could be a person. A lot of times I get the sense of like micromanaging, like being micromanaged, or having someone kind of like always looking over your shoulder, and there's like the pressure to make sure you're doing things perfectly, and like they may or may not interfere and tell you what to do or how to do it. So it can be that energy that just, yeah, it's overbearing. It makes you feel kind of small. It makes you feel stressed or anxious. It could be like people who are really judgmental, really controlling. It could be an overbearing presence, like in terms of emotionally, perhaps, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you feel about yourself, something that's hanging over your head, maybe something that you're procrastinating on or putting off that's kind of like hanging over your head. So it might just need addressing. So perhaps trying to do a little bit of damage control in terms of the amount of impact that can have on you, so that if it's attached to something that needs to be done or addressed, you can like do so in a productive way that's going to be good for you, and you don't have to sacrifice like your happiness or your mental health. And especially if it's something that is not beneficial to you in any way, it's like figuring out how you might be able to release yourself of that. Because I don't get the sense that it needs to be, whatever it is, I don't get the sense that it's productive or that it needs to be in your energy. So your second message was really interesting. So it all kind of came together in like a clump. So first it was like the Gulf Coast, and then like Florida, and like orange trees. And I saw like orange tree, not like big, like an orange tree in a grove, but like most of the orange trees that I've seen personally are like on the smaller side. They're planted, but they're really beautiful, lovely trees. So you might have a connection to orange trees. You might have one. Maybe you know someone who has one, but it also could be the connection to Florida, the Gulf Coast, those warmer kind of locations where those types of trees and fruit like naturally grow. And Gulf Coast. So that's not just Florida, but what does that include? Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and then of course Florida. So that could be some kind of significance, like some of those southern states that are on the Gulf Coast. I'm not sure. So you may have a connection to it. It may have significance. It might be a travel destination. I'm not sure. The third message that came through was master of all. And I got this in the sense of, that saying like jack of all trades, master of none. And this was very much like challenging that idea or that assumption, especially if you're somebody who's very multifaceted, if you have a number of interests, and like Geminis are kind of known for that, right? Like, I don't want to say having a short attention span, but I mean having a lot of different interests and kind of bouncing around, being really curious and like leaning into different areas, different topics and exploring and learning, which I think is a really wonderful quality. But I think sometimes people tend to project their own insecurities by highlighting that you might have a lot on the go or a lot of different interests. And that if that's something like that jack of all trades, especially if it comes through with a kind of negative or judgmental tone, if that's something that you've come into contact with before, or even something that you say about yourself, I think it's really challenging that. And I think it really speaks to your kind of determination and courage to be, well-rounded, to be educated, to do well, like to gain knowledge and skill and practice, and to kind of like master the things that appeal to you, right? So it's like, no, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, and that's demeaning to you because you're going into things with the idea that it's like you want to learn how to do it well. You want to master it. You want to be the master of it, and you can master more than one thing. Like I think it's like not agreeing to be labeled as like purely one-dimensional, or that you should be one-dimensional, or that having multiple interests and skills makes you scattered, right? Because it's like you very much can have multiple points of focus and learn how to keep those all in balance. So definitely challenging that. And it's not just that you want to be the master of all, like everything, right? It's more about the things that are meaningful and important to you, and the things that you have a genuine interest in. That's what you want to master, right? So I think it's also like your ability to do that, but also being true to yourself and challenging those kind of like stereotypes, if you will. The next thing that came through was the word like roaming. I kind of got like nomad along with that. So it's kind of like, I kind of got the feeling that your sense of adventure might be high, like maybe particularly high this month, maybe just in general. But it's like wanting to get out there and have experiences, wanting to explore, not wanting to kind of stay closed in or do the really typical stuff. It's kind of like getting off the beaten path. So it's like if you go somewhere, you want to be able to like get out and enjoy. You want to go to different places, see different things. And I think it's if you do feel inclined in that sense. So it's like if you were going to go to another country or another state, you wouldn't just want to go to one place and be locked in there, even if you were to do an all-inclusive or something like that. It's like wanting to get out in the area, right? To explore like local landscape and connect with people. And so there's a sense of like adventuring beyond just the safe little kind of cocoon, right? And so if that resonates for you and your sense of adventure is particularly high, then I would say like definitely lean into that, because if you are excited to get out there and to experience new things, then there's probably a lot of really interesting opportunities available to you to perhaps connect with other people. Maybe that's something that you have been doing, but I think like, or even if you might want to go on a road trip, to be honest with you, that might be something you might be thinking about it. Or, if you're driving somewhere, it's like maybe getting off of your main route a little bit and exploring like small little places on the way. But yeah, definitely lean into that and just enjoy, I would say, because that seemed like a really positive energy for you. And then the final message that came through, it made me laugh. There's always something funny with you guys, but it was narcolepsy, or like being narcoleptic. And so I didn't get the sense that this is actually like a legitimate medical issue or concern. It kind of came through more as like a joke, I guess. So like if you are the type of person that falls asleep like really easily and really quickly, maybe you can sleep anywhere, you sleep really deeply, and like once you are asleep, it's difficult to wake you up. Maybe you fall asleep like in random places, unexpectedly, like people just leave you and then 5 minutes later you're asleep. So it could be you, or it could be someone that it might be like a running joke, or that might be something that comes up. I just thought that was funny. So if that has significance to you, you will know, because in my mind, that was a very, very obscure reference. So we'll get into your cards now. Your oracle card for this month is Happy Happy, which I actually really love for you. Because Gemini, I'm not going to lie, these last couple of months, I kind of feel like you've had a lot going on. Like there's been a lot of more serious stuff, like emotional stuff, things like your relationship to yourself. I feel like there's been kind of like a trend of having a lot going on and maybe not being the happiest, or maybe having to like work through a lot of challenges. So I'm really happy to see this for you, especially like with May bringing the beginning of your season, because that's the energy that's going to be highlighted. Like you're going to be highlighted, the sun will be shining on you. It's kind of like your time to shine and thrive. So I don't think there's a better card that could have come out for you for this month. This card, like, it doesn't require a huge amount of explanation, because if you know what happiness feels like and you've experienced happiness, you know what that is. And you know that that can be triggered or connected to in even the most basic and simple of ways. And so I would say to you that this is very much a month of just allowing yourself to enjoy, allowing yourself to be happy, right? And it's acknowledging that happiness is something that comes from within and something that you consciously can choose to connect with and appreciate. It's not a result of anything or anyone outside of yourself. So of course there might be certain relationships or certain experiences that help us connect more easily to happiness, or that that we really appreciate, but it's recognizing that like it doesn't necessarily matter what's going on around you. It's your willingness to appreciate that, to experience that, and to consciously connect with it, and just to be grateful for all of the opportunities for happiness and joy, and play, right? This is also like a very joyous, lighthearted, playful kind of energy. So I really like this. And it also kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying, like I was feeling in terms of a sense of renewal or excitement, like kind of a newfound motivation to like take care of yourself, engage more with the things that are going to be most helpful to you. So this can be purely in like a celebratory way, but this can also be in like a self-care way, which has a deeper component to it. So it's kind of like being able to celebrate and enjoy life and be happy in the most basic kind of superficial ways, but also on a deeper level in terms of how we like think and feel about ourselves, and the perceptions, the beliefs that we have that cause us to make certain decisions in our lives, right? So it's like allowing that to be influenced and motivated by happiness and joy. And it's like being happy now with what you have now. So it's kind of like you might already be feeling this, like a sense that, you know, life is good, you're happy where you are, you're happy in your relationship, or, you know, it might not be in all areas of your life, but it's kind of feeling like coming into a lighter period of time where your worries and your stresses and anxieties seem to be lessened, or maybe hold less weight, because this door to happiness and this lighter energy is opening up. And that's kind of like the prevailing influence right now. And it's basically saying like any way that you can connect with happiness and joy and play, even just being silly, having a good time, laughing. It's let yourself connect to it, let yourself enjoy it, let yourself indulge in it, right? Because, you know, there's always going to be a time for work, and there's always going to be a time for play. There's going to be a time, you know, to be serious and to be challenged, and also to be lighthearted and joyful. There's a time, you know, for, you know, turning inward. There's a time for, you know, connecting on a social level with other people. So everything always kind of balances out in life, and this seems like you're coming into a season of happiness and joy. And so it is, yeah, not getting in your way, not putting expectations on yourself, especially if you've been in a heavier place. It's like allowing yourself to have a break from that, because if this is the energy that's coming in this month, it's because you need it and you deserve it. So I would just say make the most of it, right? Like this, if the sun is shining on you, then you might as well like grab a drink and suntan, have a party. like, so you might be finding that there are a lot of opportunities to connect with the things that you enjoy, either the people that you enjoy, to celebrate perhaps birthday celebrations. And it could even just be like that it doesn't have to be associated to another person, but it could even just be the shift in weather, like coming into springtime and feeling more motivated to like get out. The door might be opening for more outings, more experiences, more social activities and opportunities. So, yeah, I would say if that's you, if that's something that you enjoy, definitely make the most of it. Definitely connect with it. This could be in relationships. So either an existing relationship, allowing yourself to just like enjoy and have a good time, enjoy things being good. It could be a new relationship that's bringing in a lot of opportunity for joy and fun. It's kind of helping you connect with that. Or if you're not currently in a relationship and you're looking for one, it's allowing yourself to be happy and joyful, leaning into that and expressing that, because that ultimately is going to draw in people who are looking for that or who are on that level. So yeah, it's basically like, I don't think I can say much more about that. Like, it's obviously very, very positive energy. And I'm happy to see that for you, because I kind of feel like most of the Geminis that I know, this is kind of like how they are on the inside. And I feel like a lot of you fight life experiences because it's like you're happy on the inside and you're playful and you want to have fun, but having fun and enjoying life isn't always supported by our external circumstances. And it's kind of like, this is going to be a really good opportunity for you. So your first card for this month is the Five of Swords. Interesting. Right, let's see what else we've got here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you actually got 2 for your second placement. So you've got the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups together. Very, very interesting. Okay, we'll see what else we've got. We'll get you 2 more cards. Right. You've got the Knight of Swords. I'm not surprised to see the Swords energy here, because that is air energy, your energy, Gemini. So we'll get you 1 more card. Oh my gosh. Wow. I really like this for you. Your final card is the Wheel. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So I will say straight off the bat, this could very well have a lot to do with other people. So relationships to other people, work with other people, collaboration with other people. These cups right here give me an indication it could very well have to do with a romantic relationship, either one that's in existence, one that might be returning from the past, or one that is yet to be. And if it doesn't make sense for you in a romantic sense, it could very well be any type of relationship, like friends, family, colleagues. But with the cups here, it very much is influenced by like love and connection and harmony and joy. So it's like a deeper level of connection. And if it doesn't make sense or minimal sense in terms of connection to other people, it could also be your love for and connection to yourself as well. So that's ultimately going to play a role in any of your other relationships. But yeah, with the Two of Cups here and even the Three of Pentacles, that gives me the sense that other people are probably playing a role in whatever this is. So the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, that is a card of like practical collaboration, like working together as a unit in harmony, recognizing that everybody has their own unique talents and skills. Everybody has a role to play, something to offer. Everybody who is participating is of value. And that's why it's important to recognize and respect each other, to allow people to contribute and to play their role, and to work together to collaborate in a balanced and equal way where everybody can kind of shine and bring some kind of project or some kind of goal to fruition, right? So this is like a practical energy where they're all playing an important role. And if one of them were to step away, it would be significantly more difficult for the other people to complete the task, right? And so that can apply to anything. It can be work. It can be something like creative, like teamwork. Yeah, so there's a strong sense of collaboration. So there might be something in particular that you've been working on for yourself or with other people. It could have like a practical application, like where there's a tangible outcome, or it might just be more intangible. But however that makes sense to you, it's kind of the sense that this is this collaboration, this harmony, this teamwork, and like really kind of setting the foundation for success and making sure that the people who are working together are united, right? So that the set of skills balances out, but also the personalities in terms of a willingness to work together in a respectful manner and everybody pulling their own weight. So it's like that could be something that you've been working on or something that you've just come into, and that could be very well what's influencing this new day, like this new kind of light that's shining on you and your current circumstances. So whatever way that makes sense for you, if it does. And then, interestingly, you are being encouraged to come into this month in this Five of Swords energy. And normally the Five of Swords can be a really challenging card because it is like, it's the way that we either can deceive ourselves or others, or the ways that we are deceived and misled by others. So any amount of lie, deception, betrayal, any kind of shady behavior that doesn't quite feel trustworthy. So it can be self-sabotage by, committing yourself to things that are not true or not helpful to you, the ways that you hold yourself back, potentially the ways that you hold other people back, or you hold information from them that could be beneficial, or that they might need to know. But then also individuals that you are surrounded with or working with that either perpetuate your own self-sabotage and your own limiting beliefs, or that are trying to kind of, it could be manipulation, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Sometimes people aren't aware that they do that to you, but it's like being lied to or misled. Yeah, so any kind of deceptive energy that you have been struggling with or that has been impacting you, it's time to kind of really allow that to come to light, how that's impacted the way that you feel about yourself, the decisions that you're making, the way that you're interacting with other people, the way that you view the world and what's possible to you, and recognizing like that when you encounter that kind of deception, whether it's something that you perpetuate yourself or that is reflected to you through other people, sometimes we can commit to carrying that out, even if it's not ours, even if it's not true, and even if it's not helpful. So it's like our minds can, like we can be tricked into believing certain things, but our minds can also deceive us. And so it's really about recognizing what that is, what has been influencing you. And this can also be like fear and anxiety around either moving away from people that are deceptive, or perhaps encountering people that will be deceptive, fears that, if you've worked with people in the past that you can't trust or that have let you down, that like future people that you might interact with, connect with, or collaborate with might do the same thing. And it's needing to work through the ways that that's impacted you and kind of skewed your view of yourself in the world, so that you can let it go and just like free yourself from whatever that is. So if you've moved away from a deceptive behavior, a deceptive person or situation, this is kind of doing like that last little bit of mental housekeeping, so that the ties to that situation that you've worked to move away from can be kind of resolved. It can be left in the past, and you can allow yourself a fresh start in a way that's going to be freeing for you. So connecting with how you really feel, the trust that you want to be able to feel for, like in terms of your trust in yourself and then trust in other people, and recognizing that there's a lot of opportunity to grow and expand in a more positive direction. And this kind of like negative stuff that might be whispering in your ear, leading you astray or complicating situations that don't need to be complicated. So it could be self-sabotage in collaboration with other people, self-sabotage with yourself, self-sabotage particularly in romantic relationships or like soulmate connections as well. Yeah, and so it's basically like there's an opportunity to kind of start new and to let these kind of fly away, right? And so you may have already kind of cut these ties or moved away from this deception, or it might be something that you've decided that you need to do. And this might be the first step, is like cutting the ties, releasing that, and then working through the remnants so that you don't have, so if you've removed that experience or that person or that presence from your life, you can just kind of let go of the ties to it as well, and start anew, and not projecting your past experiences and struggles into the future, so that you can receive new opportunities for happiness and love. So it's really amazing, actually, that this has come up. So the Ace of Cups is all about new beginnings in love, joy, happiness, fulfillment. This can be like a depth of emotional connection. This can also be like in terms of like your spiritual awareness, intuition, your kind of like subconscious. So there is a new opportunity for you to connect with something deeper. So that could be another person. It could be connecting to yourself more deeply. Just the experiences around you, being able to kind of like follow your heart, do something that's going to be a little bit more emotionally fulfilling, helping you connect with this happiness and joy. So it's like a very heart-centered energy. So this can be giving and receiving. And the fact that it came out with the Two of Cups means it's highly, highly likely that this might have to do with a romantic relationship. So it could be a new romantic relationship or a new romantic partner, like someone who has just come into your life or is just coming into your life this month, or a relationship or connection that's still kind of like in the new stage where you're getting to know each other. It's kind of like maybe even like the honeymoon phase where that person is like bringing out the best in you. There's a lot of fun and discovery. There's a lot of connection as you get to learn more about each other and about like, your similarities, your differences, the way that you complement each other, and so on. If it's not romantic in nature, this can also be friendships. Two of Cups can also be like a soulmate relationship. So somebody that you feel very drawn to, very connected to. Like it might be somebody that like a soulmate energy. So someone that you feel that you've met before, or there's a sense of knowing or like feeling like they're an important kind of piece of the puzzle in terms of your life, or somebody who just really gets you on that deeper level. And it's funny because even in here, there's like the same kind of colors as in this card. So Cups, yeah, all about love, happiness, joy, connection, fulfillment. And it's about like the emotional, intuitive, subconscious side of things. So in terms of our connection to ourself, how we process our emotions about our experiences in the world around us, and then our relationships to other people, and how we can grow and be changed and experience that depth of love and joy and connection through our relationships and with other people. So this Ace of Cups and Two of Cups, this new beginning and this partnership and these deep connections are coming up as your challenge for this month. So if you've been in a difficult place where maybe you've been disappointed, maybe you've been anxious, maybe there's been a lot of deception. So maybe like romantic partnerships or collaboration of any kind, or friendships have been difficult. Maybe there has been deception or like lack of alignment or whatever. So I kind of get the sense that whatever this deception is, this can be limiting beliefs, critical thoughts, anything that would cause you to self-sabotage or like feel as though you can't connect with something good. This is very much like all the good stuff, like all the good stuff that you deserve. And I really get the sense that this month it's going to challenge you, because you're in a place where, if things are going well and you're happy and you want to connect with more happiness, and there are all sorts of opportunities for happiness, I think your challenge is going to be like not getting caught up in your own head and like over analyzing or being limited, especially when it comes to forming deeper connections, forming trust, and allowing yourself to feel like you deserve to experience love and kindness and connection, especially if it's something that you've been longing for and something that you haven't really been feeling fulfilled in, because cups also have to do with our fulfillment on that level as well. So I would be really highly aware of anything that makes you uncomfortable about connecting with other people or experiencing happiness. Any fears that you might have around relationships, trust, love, joy, collaboration with others, your value and self-worth, because those are going to be coming up to be cleared. And it probably has a lot to do with your past experiences and the way that you think about yourself, or the expectations or limitations that you've set as a result of experiences that may have been painful and unhelpful. So it's like allowing yourself to connect with the good, because that's the energy that you are meant to be in and you deserve to connect with. And in order to kind of help you deal with this challenge, which is this deeper level of emotional awareness, emotional connection, expression, could be commitment, joy, all of this stuff, is to kind of embrace your air energy. So this Knight of Swords, the knight is somebody who's already like on the path, right? So it's like they've recognized opportunity and they're ready to seize it. And the knight is determined, like determined to get there, determined to be successful. It's like failure is not an option, right? And so with swords energy, it is mental energy. It is, gathering information, being strategic, having that kind of knowledge and wisdom to help you make your decisions, and being able to communicate in a clear way to kind of help you achieve your vision. But the Knight of Swords kind of takes that energy and throws caution to the wind. So it's like he's inspired, he knows what he wants, and he's going after it, and he's going to do whatever it takes to be successful. And so that can make him a little bit sometimes irrational, sometimes impulsive. So like not necessarily thinking things through. It's like do before you it's like act and then deal with the consequences later. So yeah, it can be a little bit of an assertive, aggressive energy, and it can feel a little bit reckless and impulsive, and that definitely can be a struggle. But I think this is telling you, like, getting caught up in thoughts, especially if they're fear-based, it can be paralyzing, right? And so sometimes these thoughts that just kind of make us struggle to like make decisions or to know what's best for us can actually get us to the point where they paralyze us and we're not able to move forward. So it's basically saying, like, yes, you have all this information and you have knowledge and you have awareness, but it's like, you know what you want. So how are you going to get it? Right? So it's like, if what you want is to connect more deeply on an emotional level, right? Or to have deeper connections, then it's like you just have to do it, right? So it's like, if you know what you have to do, you just do it, right? And you trust that you're determined to get there. You're not going to fail. Failure is not an option. So lean into it, go after it, right? And trust that you have the ability to navigate whatever comes as a result. So it's like, I don't want you to take major awful risks, right? Like, but it's like, it's not allowing fear to hold you back, right? And it's charging and allowing that inspiration and like what you really want to guide you, right? And seeing, like, sometimes you just need to push yourself over that hump of like fear, or perhaps being stuck in habits or patterns, to see that like you actually are capable of acting. And like, even if things don't proceed the way that you expect them to or hope them to, it's like you learn a lot about yourself and your ability to take action, and you'll have an experience ultimately that's going to help you grow and to feel more confident and more worthy. So it's like, kind of like, get on your motorcycle and drive, like, go after what you want. But yeah, this is very much a defiance in terms of like not letting fear and anxiety cloud you or paralyze you or cause you to self-sabotage or cause you to miss out on the joy that's available to you. And so it's kind of like, yeah, throwing caution to the wind and just letting yourself be happy, letting yourself enjoy. And it might feel scary. It can be scary to be vulnerable and to connect. And it can be scary to allow ourselves to really just be happy and enjoy and have fun, especially if we're somebody who puts a lot of pressure on ourselves in terms of, being productive and being forward moving and achieving goals. It can be hard to just rest and be happy, or to allow ourselves to celebrate all that we've got and all that we've done to this point. And you're in a time of celebration. So I would just say go for it, right? Because, for example, if you've got a really wonderful relationship or opportunity for a relationship and you don't allow yourself to experience that and benefit from it because you're busy being stuck in your head, then it's like, what's the point, right? And it's like, if you're going to go to a party and there's the opportunity to have fun and connect with new people and just enjoy, and you're stuck in your head the whole time, what's the point in going to the party, right? So it's like, if you want to experience happiness and joy, then just commit to experiencing happiness and joy, get the most out of it. And like, you don't need to take your anxiety with you. And sometimes just like running toward what's going to make you happy and facing it head on, even if it's uncomfortable, helps you see the way, give you more clarity on the ways that you might be holding yourself back. So yeah, it's like, just commit to your happiness, commit to your enjoyment, commit to having a good time, and not letting your thoughts and perceptions hold you back. And the wonderful thing is, the highest possible outcome for this month, in terms of this energy kind of letting yourself flow through it, is the wheel. And the wheel it's all about fate and destiny, right? And being able to keep things in balance. And so, just like I said, there's a time for us to struggle and to be challenged, and there's a time for us to celebrate. There's a time for work and play. And so it's kind of like, it's recognizing that you can't be all the way in one or all the way in the other, and all of the different like aspects of life that we have to keep in balance. We're always going to oscillate from side to side, but it's not like we're not going to exist solely in one place. And so it's recognizing that if you can be in this energy and you can be putting pressure on yourself and working hard or struggling, then you can be happy. And as much as you commit to, those times of uncertainty, and you feel stuck there, it's like you can allow yourself to sit in happy, positive energy as well. And doing that, it's not like you're taking a break, and it's not like you're being unproductive. It's like you're letting yourself experience balance, right? And balance is the very thing that keeps this wheel spinning. So we have to allow ourselves to take inspired action, to be changed by our experiences, to acknowledge what's important to us, and value it enough that we're willing to take action. So for example, if it's pursuing a relationship, participating in a relationship or a collaboration, treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, doing things for ourselves that are going to help us connect more with love and joy, or to be more in the moment and experience happiness. Taking those actions, taking that intention and guiding that into action that will impact our physical experiences and what we can take from them, that sets the wheel in motion, and that wheel will connect us to our fate and destiny. So there could be like a fated meeting or an opportunity that you wouldn't otherwise come across if you didn't connect with this energy of allowing yourself to be happy. So for example, if you said, well, no, I've got to stay in and study, I can't go out to this party, maybe you're missing out on meeting this person that's going to be your significant other, right? So it's like, you have to acknowledge that there's opportunity, and you have to give yourself the chance to connect with it. That's what sets the wheel in motion. Once the wheel is in motion, then it's like you can start having the experiences that you're meant to have, and staying in that energy and balancing out, work and play and all of those opposing kind of energies in life. It'll help keep you aligned with what's most important to you, so that those opportunities that are destined for you, those things that you're meant to learn and experience and grow from, you'll be in a position to recognize them and to jump on those opportunities, right? And so this is like experiencing balance, right? Experiencing like a sense of, like, you might not know exactly what is going to happen or how it's going to happen, but it's like acknowledging that you can handle it, acknowledging that things happen in their own time, and that you can trust that you'll be provided for, and you can trust yourself, as long as you're honoring yourself and allowing yourself to kind of work your way through things, feel your way through things, especially anything that is like a challenge for you in terms of balance. If it's balance like in your personal life or work or relationships, love, that kind of stuff, it's trusting that when you start allowing yourself to balance those things out in a way that feels good and authentic to you, that is going to help everything else come into alignment, right? So it's like almost like you're the master of your own destiny. And the more that you invest in your health and your well-being and what's right for you, the more opportunity for you to continue along that path and connect with things that are going to help and support you. Like, the more that's going to happen. So I love that. We're going to get you a couple of affirmations because we're already over time as usual. I've got you one. I'll just get you one more. And then we'll get you your final oracle card. But I really like this for you, Gemini. I think it's a really positive energy. Definitely a sense of renewal. Oh, okay. Let's see what you've got here. You actually got 3. You've been getting extra cards, which I feel like, you know, coming into your season, you deserve it. So I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. So yes, put down your metrics for success in terms of your practical work applications or like the standard stuff, and really like start leaning into having fun and enjoying yourself and seeing that as like a marker for success in all areas of your life. Allow yourself to be moved by happiness and joy, because I think it's long overdue. I think you need it. Sometimes no is the most loving response. So it's recognizing that part of your happiness and allowing yourself to connect with joy, be happy with things as they are now, means that you have to assert yourself, you have to set boundaries, and it's following your heart, doing what's right for you, and knowing that you can do so from a loving place. And I don't need to find my purpose will find me. So this could very much be related to whatever it is that you feel like is going to make you happy. So for example, if you've been hoping for happiness, or you've been trying to find like what it is in life that's going to make you most happy, and that's been keeping happiness from you, perhaps connecting with the happiness that's available to you right now in the most simple of ways is going to help you connect to yourself on a deeper level, which ultimately will take you in the direction of this purpose and you know what your life is going to look like, what's going to be most fulfilling for you. So that's interesting. And we'll get you oracle card. This is from the Crystal Spirits Oracle. I'll read it directly from the guidebook. Oh, interesting. So you got petrified wood. This is the Crystal Spirits Oracle. So this is not a crystal, but if I recall, this has a pretty interesting meaning. Like, it's interesting that it was included in here. So I will read it for you. Petrified wood. So the essential meanings are patience, timelessness, patience and trust in universal timing, going with the flow. Yeah, so going with the flow is kind of what you need to do in order to be here now and be happy with things the way that they are. And like trusting that everything happens in its time, right? So that kind of already mirrors really nicely. So I'll read you from the book. It says, the universe has its own ideas about when and how to bring your intention into form, but we can be impatient, forgetting that time allows the universal consciousness to get all the wheels turning so that what we wish to co-create can begin to manifest. So it's like things don't happen in the timing that we are hoping for, but it's like things are going on behind the scenes that we might not know or understand. The appearance of this crystal is a reminder to trust in the timing of the universe. Good things come to those who wait. Your message right now is to be open to divine order, for you cannot control the timetable or the form in which the universe expresses your intention. Focus on the process, putting one foot in front of the other as you work at your own growth and healing, and what you need will show up in perfect timing. And a relationship message: healing is a process, and you can't force the conscious universe to operate at your preferred pace. And really, you wouldn't want to, because there is a larger plan that accounts for so much that is invisible to you. Trust in the timing and that all will work out just as it should. Focus on the learning and loving in your relationships, or reconnecting to the conscious universe. On reconnecting to the conscious universe for guidance. You cannot determine whether this relationship is right for you right now until you let go of the need to know all the answers instantly. Meditate, observe, take a break, and you will know which move to make and when to make it. So it's kind of like this overthinking. Like the answer might not be there for you. You kind of just need to let yourself experience it, right? And that can be any relationship, not just romantic. Prosperity message. Patience is required when intention is coalescing into form. So even if you are making every effort to secure a financial situation, recognize that the conscious universe may have different ideas about what you need and how to bring it about. Trust in universal timing. Do not obsess, and let petrified wood spirit help you be patient as what you need begins to show up for you. And then there's a meditation. So petrified wood teaches patience and reconnection with the wisdom of nature. It can assist those who view the world as materially based. Meditation with petrified wood can also be helpful in exploring and clearing ancestral patterns carried in DNA. So really interesting. So yeah, very much there's a lot of trust, right? Trusting your ability to navigate, trusting that things will work out. And I think that's a major point in letting go of any kind of pressure or expectation about what life should look like, any limitations that you put on happiness, so that you can just take the pressure off yourself, take your foot off the gas for a little bit, and really just lean into enjoying everything that you do have now, with the trust that there's more coming, and it's going to come in the timing. You're going to have the experiences that you need to have. And the best way that you can ensure that you're prepared to connect with that is to do what feels right to you right now, and just to focus on your healing, right? So Gemini, I really love this reading for you. I hope that this was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading, the best way to support me is to like this video or leave me a comment. Of course, if there's anyone that you think might be interested in these readings, you can feel free to share the videos or my channel with them. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can go over to Bright Soul Collective Tarot and take a look at some of my other videos. I've got some timeless readings that you can access at any time, not just the monthly readings. And make sure that you not only subscribe, but ensure that you're signed up for notifications, so that you will stay up to date on new videos as they're posted. But yeah, it's been a pleasure reading for you. Happy Gemini season as of May 20th. I hope this month is great, and I'm very much looking forward to reading for you in June. And in the meantime, I'm wishing you all the very best.